On the world news tonight from Baba Bagade Imo Television, first the headlines. Tinubu presents 27.5 trillion naira 2024 budget of renewed hope. FG exploring public-private partnership to financial critical infrastructure. Tinubu. Senate invites Dangote Refinery, Nipco Gas, 13 other companies to explain how 120 billion naira central bank fund was spent. Akpabio seeks support for policies on subsidy removal. On sports, Osimhen, Conte ideal for Real Madrid, former Chelsea striker Zola. I am Morire Rabila Lawal, the news in detail. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has presented the 2024 budget estimate of 27.5 trillion naira to the National Assembly. Christening the budget of renewed hope, the president said it will ensure macroeconomic stability, poverty reduction, greater access to social security, amongst others. He highlighted priority areas such as security, local job creation, macroeconomic stability, investment, environment optimization, human capital development, poverty reduction, and social security. The President, during his first budget presentation before the joint session of the National Assembly, said the proposed budget prioritize human capital development with particular attention given to children because human capital remains the most critical resource for national development. President Bola Tinubu said the federal government will explore public-private partnership to finance critical infrastructure listed in the 2024 budget estimate of 27.5 trillion naira. The president stated these when he presented the budget proposal before a joint session of the National Assembly in Abuja today. Addressing the lawmakers, the president said, distinguished senators and honorable members, in view of the limited resources available through the federal budget, we are also exploring public-private partnership arrangements to finance critical infrastructure. The president urged the lawmakers to sustain the January-December 2024 fiscal calendar of the government through accelerated passage of the proposal. As he considered the 2024 budget estimate, we trust that the legislative review process will be conducted with a view to sustaining our desired return to a predictable January-December fiscal year. The Nigerian Senate has invited 15 companies, including Dangote Oil Refinery, Nipco Gas Limited, and Nipco PLC, to explain how they spent over 120 billion naira intervention fund disbursed to them by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Senate, in a memo to the company signed by Senator Jaribe, Chairman Senate Committee on Gas, and obtained by Informant on Ground, said the companies are beneficiaries of the disbursements from the Nigeria Gas Expansion Program Intervention Fund by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. The invitation said they must appear on Thursday, November 30th, at a meeting room in the National Assembly complex. The names are as follows: Nipco Gas Limited, 25 billion naira, Nipco PLC, 5 billion naira, Ide Energy Limited, 2 billion naira, Lee Engineering and Construction Company, 15 billion naira, Pinnacle Oil and Gas FZE, 10 billion naira, Transit Gas Limited, 8 billion naira, and that of Dangote Oil Refinery, 5 billion naira, Delta State Government, 20 billion naira, Mob Integrated Service Limited, 2.5 billion naira. The invited companies are required to appear with their progress report stating location of project and the current status of the project. The meeting is scheduled as follows: date Thursday, 30th November 2023. Time exactly is 2 p.m. and meeting room 107, New Senate Building, National Assembly Complex, Abuja. The President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, has tasked Nigerians with supporting the federal government to ensure the realization of the long-term benefit of subsidy removal on petrol. Akpabio said these are the presentation of the 2024 budget by the President Bola Tinubu to the joint session of the National Assembly today in Abuja. He said the country had witnessed significant economic reforms since the removal of the subsidy by the President, describing the removal of subsidy as courageous. The removal of the petrol subsidy caused some discomfort in the nation. You responded with compassion and doled out palliative to assure the effect on the people. We have also taken note that these bold decisions taken so far by this government have created some measures of economic discomfort for some Nigerians. We plead for continued support for the government to actualize the long-term benefit of these policies, he said. Akpabio, the pain of today is like the pain of childbirth. When the result of the baby manifests, we will rejoice and forget the pain. Mr. President, this is your maiden trip to these hallowed chambers to deliver your maiden budgetary estimate as the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This is a significant milestone in our nation's journey towards progress and development. Moving on to the next story, the Supreme Court today ruled that the old Naira denominations of 200 Naira, 500 and 1000 notes continue to coexist with the new note till further notice. The court maintained that the old and new notes should remain as legal tender beyond December 31st until the federal government puts a process in place for their replacement or redesign after due consultation with relevant stakeholders. The Apex Court had on March 3rd restrained the Central Bank of Nigeria from giving effect on the deadline on the use of old notes. However, the CBN on November 14 extended the validity of the old 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1000 Naira notes indefinitely. Information report that the CBN introduced the redesigned 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1000 Naira denominations in October 2022, and certain deadlines were set for the old design of these denominations to cease as legal tenders. An accountant with the Cross Rivers State Ministry of Education was today shot when gunmen trailed him to the old government secretariat near Government House in Calabar. The accountant, who was shot on the thigh, was trailed to the secretariat from the bank where he had gone to make some withdrawals. The two gunmen were said to have trailed the victim to his office complex where they forcefully took the bag containing money from him after shooting him at close range. The spokesperson of the State Police Command, SP Irene Ugbo, who confirmed the story, said the victim was immediately rushed to the Naval Referral Hospital for medical attention. Ugbo condemned the act, adding that the police were already on the trail of the gunmen who were said to have trailed the victim on motorcycle. The city has recently witnessed a surge in robbery attacks on motorcycles. To the north, youth today took to the street in Kurna, Othes along Katina Road in Kano to protest the killing of a teenager by police personnel. The incident triggered tension amid an alleged planned protest by a political group against the judgment of the appeal court on the state governorship election. It was gathered that trouble started in the early hours of Wednesday when some gangs of political thugs clashed during the peaceful atmosphere in the area. It was alleged that the police personnel deployed to the scene of the incident embarked on sporadic shootings and release of tear gas canisters to disperse the talks, which led to the killing of one person. The killing of the teenager, who was not part of the wearing talks, was said to have provoked the youth to embark on the protest. The protesters were said to have blocked the ever-busy Kano-Katina-Daura highway for several hours, causing hardship to commuters and motorists who got stuck in the trouble zone. When contacted, the State Police Public Relations Officer, SP Abdullahi Aruna, confirmed the development, saying the command had since issued a statement regarding the matter. According to him, the officer who fired the shot killed the teenager and injured two others had been arrested. To foreign story. Russian President Vladimir Putin is demanding that women in his country have 7, 8 or more children to boost the population. He warned that this is needed to prevent catastrophic demographic problems that could impact the country's economy. Speaking via video link at the World Russian People's Council on Tuesday, he said many of our peoples maintain the tradition of the family where 4, 5 or more children are raised. Recall that in Russian families, our grandmothers and great-grandmothers had both 7 and 8 children. Let us preserve and revive these traditions. Having many children, a large family should become a norm, a way of life for all the people of Russia. A family is not just the foundation for state and society, it is a spiritual phenomenon, the source of morality. Finally, on sports. Former Chelsea and Italy striker Gianfranco Zola has reason to believe that Antonio Conte and Victor Osimhen are ideal for Real Madrid. The Italian legend made the statement in an interview with Cora ahead of the Polish Champions League clash with Real Madrid today. Zola noted Conte's coaching staff, stating Antonio Conte would be a distinguished choice as a potential replacement for Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid. He praised Ancelotti, whose contract expires in the summer of 2024, for his impact at Real Madrid, while emphasizing the importance of having someone who can manage the team's many stars effectively. Discussing potential forwards for Real Madrid, Zola mentioned Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland, and Victor Osimhen. While he recognized Mbappe's talent and personality, he suggested Haaland or Osimhen as better fit due to their classic centre-forward attributes. Zola noted that Mbappe, although talented, is more of a winger than a striker. On the clash between Napoli and Real Madrid, Zola said Napoli would not find the game easy, recalling their current inconsistent form. With the sports story, we've come to the end of today's World News from Babagide Imo Television. Before we go, some headlines. Tinubu presents 27.5 trillion naira 2024 budget of renewed hope. FG exploring public-private partnership to finance critical infrastructure. Tinubu. Senate invites Dangote Refinery, Nipco Gas, 13 other companies to explain how 120 billion naira central bank fund was spent. Akpabio seeks support for policies on subsidy removal. On sports, Osimhen, Conte ideal for Real Madrid, Zola said. For update of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Babagide Imo Television. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagide Imo with Alawiye Adibayo. Please like and follow the page. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and function, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Moriri Rabila Lawal. Good evening.